Man, what's good, fam? Man, I swear it's been one of them mornings. I know it's evening for you. It's morning for me. What's that? It's 13 hours ahead over here. So yes. Well, 13 hours ahead of Central Time, 12 for Eastern. But man, it's been one of them mornings. The microphone them onto the internet. Either way it go, we wouldn't finna let it stop this show, baby, because we got to go on. We got things to do today. Part of them things is me and you. We gotta chat. We gotta chop it up because we got business to handle this year. Technically, y'all already been handling the business. Y'all been getting it, and I like it, especially with that weather. I thought that weather because you know your boy. I'm a storm runner, but y'all have been getting in this weather, fam. I commend y'all for one for staying safe. I appreciate y'all staying safe, but man. I be seeing the pictures that y'all be posting, getting it in the snow, and that snow is no joke. But y'all posting that lets me know y'all being safe, so I'm cool with that. I'm cool with the safety aspect. But no, fam, got some things to do today because we might be in Bangkok area, but my family want to go put their toes in the sand, so we got to go down to the beach for a few days. But yeah, before we do that, we got to get into the thing we talking about today, which is what strategic goals and objectives. Y'all know we've been on the goals and objectives. This is the strategic part. We started this last week, but now we're going to tap into the strategic side of things. So yeah, before I get into going, before I get to going though, let me see what's going on with the family. What's going on, fam? What's good, baby? You know the Quicks is in the building. Man, the fam is doing good, right? Right now they still sleeping. They act like they some party animals. Want to be up all night partying, having a good time. So they still getting a little rest. I'm gonna wake them up. Nah, they probably gonna get up while I'm doing this, but they just be relaxing and chilling. I want to be like them when I grow up. But nah, fam, nah. Just to go ahead and like, what's the best word to say it? You know what? I'll talk about that in a minute. Let's dive on in because I don't want to be holding y'all up because I know y'all been out there having a great Sunday already. But we talked about strategic goals and objectives. We started last week with the just basic blanket goals and objectives for like a business, your life, however you want to put it. But it's got foundations to it: strategic, financial, and operational. So we decided to break those up because it got to make sense. That's the best way to say it. In order for it to make sense, you have to break it up in those categories because each of those categories are specific to making sure you succeed. So first, we're going to start with the strategic side. It's kind of like a recap real quick of last week, but with the strategic spin of it on it for the beginning, for that opening clarity, and then we'll break down how to apply it to like your actual business, the cargo side of things. If y'all don't know already, the posts are already in the community. I'm trying to be more what's the word we use been using? I can't even think of it right now. But intentional, more intentional. So making sure y'all get these the view shot of everything before the live even happens. So they're already on the community. We just gonna break it down because I know some of y'all already looked at them and got an idea of what we're going through. So yeah, for the basically just to recap the goals and objectives from last week, but put a strategic spin on it. The strategic side of your goals and objectives, because remember, it's the long-term picture, what you're gonna do and how you're gonna get there. What you want to achieve in the big picture long term for the strategic side of things, and for the objective side of things is how you're going to achieve it. Remember, that's that smart part, the smart goals from last week. But yeah, this is what I want you to think about as we're going through this. Like the vision that you have for your business life is interchangeable. The vision for it, the goals for what you want to achieve and route to the vision that you have for everything, and the objectives and the actions that you need to take in order to achieve said goals. Now, that's just the overlay of everything. Now, if you think I'm going through it too fast, fam, just let me know in the comment. Hit me up in the chat if I need to expand on anything. But I got a couple of slides, and I want to make sure we get the bulk of that part on out the way before we don't miss anything, because I don't want y'all to miss none of this. Even though we're gonna break down stuff throughout the year, I don't want y'all to miss none of this. So basically, whenever you're looking at those goals and objectives, strategic side of it, you got to remember the way I break it down is I give you the clarity part of it, and then it's like an overview of blanket thing, and then it dives into how to make it apply to your business. So like the core part of that strategic goals and objectives is you got to understand the growth and marketing positioning that you want to have in the business. Whatever that business is, you want to know how you want to grow and how you're going to position yourself. So you want to build a scalable, competitive business with strong brand recognition and market share. That's that growth side, because if you just plan on getting into the business and think, hey, I just want to make money, but if you don't know exactly how you want to attack it, this is that part where we say you got to pick a niche. Not necessarily one or two, but it's like you got to pick an avenue that you want to go down, because if you just randomly get into business and don't know what you're doing or what your goal is for that particular business that you're doing, you won't know how to grow in the market that you're in. And then the second part, because we want to make money, we need to make money. We ain't just out here doing things for free. You want to know how the profitability and financial stability, create consistent cash flow, healthy margins, and a long-term financial resilience. That long part is, so, we talked about this. What's your exit strategy? What's your retirement plan? Is it building and passing on to somebody else? Are you gonna sell the business, or whatever that thing is? The financial stability of it, because you want to make sure you have money at the end of it. All right, and your operational excellence. You want to be able to run lean, efficient, and repeatable systems that support scale without chaos. That operational excellence, if we say the cargo van part of it, this is that. It sounds crazy, but this is that boring part that most people don't like to do, the day in, day out. When we talked about the statements, this is that mission part. This is that thing you do every day, day in, day out, even when the bad weather, because I know we just talked about snow, and I know y'all know how to shut it down, the snow. But it's that day in, day out grind that builds that operational excellence, because you put systems in place to run that lean, efficient business. And then 4, customer value and retention. Deliver exceptional value and drives repeat business and referrals. So that mission part that goes day in, day out, that's that part that comes back to that customer value and retention, because without any customers, you don't have no business. And without no business, you don't have no vision and goals that you are gonna achieve, or that you're trying to succeed in building your life, your business, all those things. And then brand authority and trust. Position the business as credible, reliable, and respected in its market. That's that thing that separates you from everybody else, and that's the overall goal for your business. Now, with that being said, I'm sorry, comments popping up. I looked over it. It got me laughing. With that being said, I want to give because y'all know your boy. I got to tell stories that make sense in my mind to make sure that we both are on the same page. So when you're looking at it from a business aspect, because remember I tell you all the time, business, life, they kind of go hand in hand. So when you look at it from the aspect of business and life, think of it as far as like your family. Everything we just talked about, like the growth and market position. And if you have kids, we were all kids once. It might be a little older, but I was a kid once. So when you want your kids is to be productive members of society and growing and getting better in life, one of those things you do is you set them up for growth and position themselves in the market. Be like, you got to make good grades in school. You're thinking about college applications, or if you want to do a trade, or the things you do throughout the years, put them in sports, put them in dance and ballet. All of that little stuff like that you do for your family, that's that growth and market positioning that you're doing for your family. When you look at the profitable and financial stability, that's where you come in with your job. You want to make sure you got a savings account. You want to make sure you have funds put aside for emergencies. You put aside money for vacations like we're on right now. Like all of that is the profitability and financial stability of your family. The operational excellence when you run a lean, efficient, and reliable system. That's when you're looking at your kids, like make sure they clean up, make sure the grass is cut, make sure the car is washed. Like those repetitive things that, remember, nobody likes to do. That's what makes the household run. That's what keeps things going. The customer value and retention, That goes down to when you teach what I just said about your kids being good contributing members to society. That's when you make friends, your family, your loved ones, the customer. Because if nobody likes to be around you because you got bad attitude or bad systems, like say we just said the thing that nobody like you do on a regular basis, say your house already dirty, always dirty. Nobody wants to come visit you. Say you don't take that bath every night. People don't want to hang around you because you're stinky. You see how this kind of goes back and forth, and then build brand authority and trust. And over time, as you see when you get older and become an adult, over time, as you keep showing up day in and day out, people know that they can rely on you in your personal life. That's why I said this kind of goes back and forth with business and professional and personal development. All goes hand in hand, as you see, because that's how you live life. It just how do you want to live life? So let me go holler at the fam. I can't let y'all get up out of here. Where did I stop at? Hey fam, it's been a minute. Great to see y'all tonight. What's going on? Where have you been at? We're gonna almost put an APB out on you, fam. Don't be making us look for you no more. You out here. Hey, I can't with y'all. Mr. Drive Time is in the building. Hey, fam, how things been going out there? I know that weather. I know you like me. We be running from that weather. How you been holding up out there in that weather, fam? How you been holding up? Quick's hollering at Mr. Drive Time. But yeah, Mr. Drive Time, how that weather been doing out there? How has it been? They just replying. I told you I just put it up because I want y'all to see fans just in here talking to each other. They having conversations. But no. Because I know we're going to chop it up at the end of this. So, because I got a lot of stuff that's outside of this I want to tell y'all about. So, the same thing happens because, we were still on the high level part of those strategic goals. But now you got to make those goals line up with the objectives, or the objectives line up with the goals, however you want to say it. So, like the first one, when you talk about hold on, did it go to the other page? Yeah, let me go back. It went a page ahead. All right. So when we first talked about that growth and market positioning, because that was the goal, you have to take your goal that you have and break it down into the different objectives. I know y'all probably wondering why I keep looking down. Remember, got to use the phone. I don't have all my monitors in front of me. That's what's holding up a bunch of business stuff around me. But I'll get to that later at the end. But yeah, so we talked about the growth and marketing position, and that's the goal that you have. But if that's your goal, and remember we said that's build a scalable, competitive business with strong brand recognition and market share. So that is the goal for the company. But now you got to assign objectives to that goal. Remember, like last Sunday when I was telling you about the goals and objectives, I was like, you can do 2 or 3 for each one. Well, I gave you a little an extra one just so y'all can get the understanding of what we're talking about. But for that growth and marketing positioning, the objective that you have to start thinking about is increase revenue by X% within 12 months. That can be 5%, that can be 10%. Remember when we talked about the deadhead miles a few Sundays back, and I was like, eliminate 15%. You got to know the percentage of what you're trying to do based off of your numbers. I always tell you, know your numbers. Enter X new markets and customer segments, secure X strategic partnerships and distribution channels, launch X new product services aligned with the market demand. Now, we're going to break this down again. If y'all already know that, I already seen it, the cargo van piece of it. So I just want to give you the overview of what it looks like. You have to insert these numbers as you go, and I'll give you an example of those said numbers in a minute. Goal 2, profitability and financial stability. You want an objective for that is maintain gross margins of X% or higher, reduce operating costs by X% through process optimization, build a 3 to 6 month cash reserve, diversify income so no single client source exceeds percent of the revenue. That part right there, those last, that section, but mainly those last 2, that goes back to how I was saying about the family thing. You want to build so much financial stuff and backing for vacations and safety net for your family in case something goes wrong. Well, you have to do the same thing for your business as well. And the part about diversifying the income, that is very, very important because if your income, well, let me reframe that. If what you put out exceeds what you bring in, your business is going to fail. You already know that. You can't spend more money than you make. And that's why it needs you need to know that percentage of your revenue that you're going to position inside of your business so that you can maintain profitable and financial stability, because you don't need more going out than you got coming in. Operational excellence, the objectives for that would be document and standardize 100% of core processes, implement KPIs for efficiency, quality, and turnaround time, reduce errors, delays, or waste by X%, adopt tools, automation to save hours per X hours per week. I'm going through it, but I'm trying to get you to the cargo van part of it, because that's where the numbers start to make sense when I keep saying X. The customer value and retention. The objectives for that is achieve customer satisfaction score of X out of 10. That's 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10. Of course, you want 10 out of 10. We want perfection. Increase repeat customers by X%, implement a feedback loop, review surveys and testimonies. We talked about this before. These are the things that make sure you're doing your job correctly, or doing what you said you're going to do, and the customer appreciates what you say you're going to do. Develop a loyalty referral or retention program. And then for goal 5, brand authority and trust objectives, publish X pieces of thought leadership content monthly. That's what we're doing now. Grow audience community by X%. Secure X testimonies, case studies, or reviews. Establish consistent brand messaging across all platforms. I don't know if y'all been watching. I was going to dive into this later on, but basically what y'all see we do every live through the videos and all that, that's how you're supposed to do that same thing with the client or customer. I know y'all watch your boy when we do cargo van loads and run all over America and all that. And you're like, BG, why are you doing this? Because I'm the person, because receipts. If I tell you in videos like, yeah, do this, you do that, and I tell you what my background is, part of helping you succeed is I have to apply the things from my background into helping you succeed. And that's where that grow the brand trust and all that stuff, and grow the audience. That's the fam. Because in order for the help, we want to continue to grow, because we can help others, not just me, because y'all help me just as much as I help y'all, and we help each other, and that's growing the audience. That's all the part of brand authority and trust. In order to be trusted in the cargo van industry, and I'm pretty sure some of the fam, y'all already figured this out, when we talk and y'all see people in the chat and on videos making replies to the comments, that is not me. That's building that brand trust. That's why I tell y'all about putting out videos, because y'all got this information and y'all just is knowledgeable, in many cases more knowledgeable than your boy. But you know, that last line that y'all see about the online strategy and statement, you have to, I'll read it first. Our strategy is to grow profitable by delivering high value solutions, operating efficiency, and building long-term trust with our customers while scaling systems that support sustainable expansion. I know y'all probably are like, BG, why we got all these statements? The statements are for you, not the customers. Those statements are to help you stand on business, because it's one of those things where I don't want you to think, and it's just anything, you don't go around just guessing at what you do. You have to actually write it out, talk it out, put it in fine print, whatever you want to say, type it up. I don't care how you do it. But that's the thing that holds you accountable, so that you can go out there and do the business that you said you're going to do. Let me pull this down. That's why you can go out there and do the business that you said that you're going to do for the client. So that's that's when we talked about capability statements, when we talked about mission statements, vision statements, all these different statements. They all coexist in the one. Now, I don't want y'all to think it's a statement for every single thing you do. It just looks like that because of how we're breaking down each segment. But by the end of the, I guess, say year, or you should have one statement that's built around your core function of your business. It's just, this is implemented, and as you see, we're building on that statement week by week by week until it gets to that overall arching goal that we're trying to succeed. Let's see here, fam. I got to stop for a second because fam is over here talking. I don't want to miss nobody. Okay, fam. Hey, That's smart. Get away from that weather. Go down the floor. I don't blame you for that. But hey, I know Georgia sometimes I've seen videos it's getting kind of icy out there too. So, well, not now, but it's going away. But yeah, man, stay safe out there. But I'm glad Florida bound. Get run from that weather. Hey, Quicks. My wife says I need a contract. See, I'm gonna dive. Let me go on top of that the way. So we kind of talked about contracts a little bit in the book. The book is coming. I promise you. I checked this morning, and it's still doing that final review thing. I don't know. They said it was gonna take some time. I already did my part. It's in the system. It's just getting the final checks, I guess. The final audits. Make sure your boy is your boy. I don't know, but whenever it gets through doing whatever it's doing, I will definitely let you know because we talked about the contract side of things. And if you've not been down, I'm going to give you a couple of examples. If you already been on the same broker and all that multiple times doing contracts, especially, your boy, I operate numbers in threes. If you've already done it for at least 2-3 times, now it's time to start negotiating like, hey, how often is this ran down to Florida or wherever you are going? What can we do so I can get this? Because is it a contract? Because it's two things. It could be a contract, but if it's something that a broker has and it's if it's not directly from the customer itself, like if it's a direct shipper, then you set up a contract. But if it's a broker, then you need to see how you can negotiate to get that broker lane to something you can do on a regular basis for your broker lane. Like, for example, I have a broker lane that y'all saw me do a few times. The one that I told you about, the 18-wheeler that comes from California and it stops through Oklahoma, then goes down to like Dallas, Sherman, Texas, Bee Cave, Austin. Like it goes to different places and sometimes Longview. Well, that broker lane is when it comes through. The broker even asked me, do I want to pick up in Oklahoma side or do I want to pick up in the Texas side around Dallas area and take it to wherever the location it needs to go to. So if it's a broker that's operating it, see if it's something you can pick up through the broker lane. But if it's an actual direct shipper, then you need to see if you can negotiate a contract with that, which we talked about in the book. So whenever we get to that point, because we're going to actually dive into that a little bit as we go through this year about the different lessons that we're talking about when we're building the business. That's when we're going to start talking about net 7s, net 15s, net 30s, how to actually build the contracts and all that stuff, because that part goes to direct shipper and it goes to government contracts when it gets time to build contracts. But don't worry, fam, I got you. I just was making that because you mentioned it and we talked about that part in the book. I'm in Kentucky right now. Cold. Man, I've been seeing them videos. I saw I don't even know where he was at. I saw a guy throw a shovel in his front yard, next to his driveway, and the shovel, because the snow was so packed with, it was ice basically. It was a big block of ice. The shovel just slid around and went down the yard on the where the grass would be in. It just was sliding because it just iced over. So I know, I commend y'all. I don't see how y'all do it. It's too cold for your boy. God knew what he was doing when he got you up out of there. Because I'll be in the house disappointed. I'll be wanting to go somewhere, but I don't do cold. So, I get it. Stay warm. I had a question, big bro. When someone gets their own authority on one van in his fleet of 4, how do shippers know if one of the other vans is in the fleet goes to pick up, being that they are not checking the van? So I'm making sure I got this straight. You're saying if you got a fleet of 4 vans, how do they know which van is doing the picking up? Is that what I'm understanding? Make sure I don't see it over here. So I'm based off what your question is and how I'm interpreting it. Someone gets their own authority on one van in his fleet of 4. How do shippers know if one of the other vans in the fleet goes to pick up, being that they are not checking the van? So they wouldn't know. Like if I call and I book a load and I got 4 vans, for one, my 4 vans would normally be on my insurance, so they can see it through the when they pull up your MC. Like when you set up your MC, and I don't think I've ever mentioned this, but as you build your fleet, you should be updating FMCSA with the number of vehicles that you have. Remember, Well, for us in cargo vans, it says zero. So your insurance, your COI, it'll start showing that you got multiple vehicles on there. I'm thinking if I'm understanding the question correctly. So as you put that on there, they don't know which particular van picks it up. But normally when they're asking you, when they're setting up the load, they'll be like, what's your truck number or something like that. And you might say 1, or you might say 3. If you got 4, you might say 4. If truck 4 is going to pick it up. Because normally that's how they identify, but no, they wouldn't know exactly which van picks it up. It's more so if something goes wrong, then they would know. That's why, like, I guess you could say double brokering. Like if a broker gives you a load and you give it to somebody else. But if it's in your fleet, it's not necessarily double brokering. So they wouldn't necessarily know which van or be concerned with which van, long as that they know, like, van number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Because if you got 4, you should be able to distinguish between the two. But no, like, they wouldn't know if it's your van and it's in your fleet. It's not oh yeah, you sent the wrong van out your fleet. That doesn't happen. If I'm understanding your question correctly, if that's not what you meant, let me know and I'll go back through and re-answer that. But that's how I'm interpreting. Like, they wouldn't know because they're not there. They don't check. Like, if you're sending a van in your fleet, then you should be good to go. Mr. Have you thought about using a dispatcher? That's a good question. That is a good question. It's crazy because I can't wait for y'all to get the book, because I promise you, for the family that out there that I know to help y'all, it's like a consolidation of all the stuff we've been talking about. I told you, I don't really just it's stuff we mentioned in videos, but it's basically consolidated it with like some hammer home points. But yeah, you might dispatcher works as well. Nice shirt. Hey, I'm unleashing all the shirts, man. We've been grinding. I promise you, I'm gonna get the shirts out to y'all as well. Okay. Mr. Drytown says he got carriers. That works. Do you have a referral link for the commercial insurance for cargo vans? I'm currently shopping for insurance. I do not. I didn't even think about asking Geico if they got a referral link. I'm gonna ask them. I'm gonna ask Geico if they got a referral link, because I never asked them if they got one. But if they do got one, I'll let y'all know. But I never even thought to ask about that. My bad. That's a good question. I'm taking a mental note of that. I'm gonna see if I got one, if I can get one. But yeah, I use Geico, but I know a lot of people, it depends on areas, use different things. I've heard a few people say Geico. I don't hardly know anybody no more that really uses Progressive, me personally. But yeah, shop around, but I'm gonna check on that referral link. Let's see. I run random loads from DAT. Brokers always say they don't have a lane. Yes, so that does happen from time to time. Finding that, I told you. So I want to make sure we emphasize that, especially as we're talking about the strategic goals and objectives. That's that part where it's like almost paying attention, because a lot of brokers, I'm not saying all, there are a lot of brokers that don't have lanes, or like the way the market is set up right now. So in the past, it was easier to, when you used to hear people be like, oh, get direct lanes or get direct shippers. Like in the past, coming across that was very easy to do. I won't say easy, but you ran across them more than you do now. But because of how it's economics, because of how people shop now, because supply and demand, less people are shopping. Businesses are still working. People are still shopping. Don't get me wrong. But it's not at the same volume it was as, say, like the 90s. The early 2000s, or the consistency of said things. Like, for example, you know how Black Friday, like every year, Thanksgiving, all the TVs that get pushed, like that's not a common thing anymore. Like in the past, it was set time frames and stuff. So direct lanes and direct shippers, they're out there. They're not invisible. It's not like they're hiding or something. It's just you have to filter through and find them. So when you find those direct lanes from brokers, it's almost like you have to ask them. Like, so when I tell you I watch the board and I see certain things pop up over and over and over and over and over again, because you'll see them, even if you don't get the load yourself, you'll see them, and you like that load moves from here to there on a regular basis. And this, let's say TQL. If I see a load that goes from Dallas to Houston on a regular basis, and I notice that the weight is always similar, I'm gonna think TQL. It's no different than when you see the U-Haul boxes, because we talked about Global Trans, or we talk about Glitner. Certain places that like Glitner that uses 1,500, I think it's 1,500 pounds and 5 feet is something that they send on a regular basis out of Dallas, and it goes to different places. And I see it all the time. I would call them, even though I can't take it. I already checked. I would call them and be like, hey, I see you send this stuff. And they told me, yeah, we got this company. It's a company that they work with, and that company sends stuff to different states on a regular basis. I would try to see if I can get that lane. So you have to pay attention what they're posting if you're using the load board, or if you use the same broker more than once, then you start asking like, hey, you got that dedicated lane? I see you keep moving that stuff. So that Kentucky weather is ice. Got it. Got it. Yeah, y'all stay in the house. Just stay in the house. Don't go out there. Now unless you're going ice skating, that's cool. But if not, don't go outside. Don't go outside. Stay in the house. Stay in the house. Let's see. Okay, yes. So yes, that's what. So I was correct. So yeah, that's stick when I'm talking about. Yeah, I was correct. Let me go back up. Just reference to this question. So yes, if that's the case, then you don't have to worry about anything if you got more than one van. Now, here's the caveat. It just popped in my mind. Say, when you say, and not you particular, but I'm saying this for anybody that might catch on, listen. When you say you have a feeder floor of vans, if you're a person, that's the best way to say it. Remember how it started out and I was like, I run under my boy. If you're one of those people that you say you have a fleet and you got people running under you, which is fine. There's nothing illegal against that. You have people running against you, kind of how when we talk about courier companies that have you running exclusively under their authority. Now, if you have a fleet and they're under you on your insurance, that's one thing. Now, if you have people under you and they're not exclusive to you, but you get loads with them and for them, and they have their own insurance and their own X, Y, and Z, you just got to keep in mind, if something goes wrong, that's you on the line, not them. Even though their insurance has to be brought in, because obviously you're going to have them cover it, but it's going to be your MC, it's going to be your credibility, the thing we've been talking about with the goals and objectives. It's going to be your trustworthiness on the line. That's when they have Carrier 411, when the brokers talk and put out the business of who don't work with and do not to work with. Now that's when and normally you wouldn't find out about it until something happens, which we don't want nothing to happen. But if they're under you and running under your insurance, fine, no problem. It's all part of your fleet. But if they're a part of something totally separate that is not under your business, then that's when you can possibly run into issues. Let's see. Okay, yet. Jay Harv in the building. What's going on, fan? 2026 has been good so far, to say the least. Wanted to say I'm good and love everyone in the family. Yeah, we was gonna put APP out on you, Jay Harv, because we've been waiting on our cakes. We know you can't get it to us because of the weather. But fam, I appreciate you as always, man. Glad you are doing amazing. I'm glad you're doing good, fam. I had a broker that would not give me a load because he didn't see where I had units. We went back and forth. Back and forth. I started singing songs in my head because I told him I was a non-CMV. He would not see it. So you got to understand, it's just part of the game. It's different brokers. Some are newer, some into the game. They're looking for certain things that they were taught to look for or expected to look for. All brokers didn't necessarily go work. I guess you could, I don't want to say get mentored or menteed or something like that. They didn't go work for an actual big brokerage company. You can, the same way you and I were able to do some research, fill out paperwork, and get MCs and authorities and just start driving a van. they can do the same thing with broker companies with backing and all that. Every single one doesn't have a background in the industry to know the ins and outs. So sometimes, remember we talked about this in multiple videos. Sometimes you got to explain to the broker. Some get it, some don't. Ain't nothing you can do about it. You either after so much talking, you just thank them for their day, be professional, and move on to the next one. I told you, there's certain things I'm not gonna do, and that's going back and forth around the circle. I got other things to do, so be respectful, business etiquette, like we talk about, and move on. Go to the next board, the next broker that you can get a hold of. All lows on the board are randoms. After running a few lows for the same broker, and they may start to add to their list to the contact before it hits the. That's what we was talking about. Yeah. That's basically all it is. When you start, but that's that paying attention. I told you, take notes. It sounds crazy, but that's the reason I be needing that cargo van book, because I write in there who I dealt with, who I worked with on this particular loads. Like when I be sitting there talking to y'all, they're like, hey, I remember I did this, and this. I do that randomly all the time. Or when I look at the load board and I flip that book open, yep, I was right. It was that load I worked with this broker. And that's when I start noticing the repetitiveness, because, again, you're not going to remember everything. It's a lot going on out here. So, yeah, got to keep notes of everything. Okay, because I came across a fleet owner that had 4 vans but only had 1 commercial insurance. The others. Okay, so, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, make sure I didn't. Okay, I see what happened. I'm going to put the right one up. I see where it broke up. Okay, I came across a fleet owner that had 4 vans, but he only had the commercial insurance on 1 van. The other 3 only have regular insurance and not registered with the FMCA. Sounds sketchy. So, yes, that's what I meant. Like, I don't know if those 3 are their vans or if there's somebody running underneath them. Normally, when you get, unless in order for that to happen, you almost have to have 2 separate insurance policies, obviously, or 3 or 4. Because, and it seems like that would cost more money. I don't know about that individual, but normally as you add a van or 2 or 3 on, when you add vehicles on, it makes the insurance goes up, but it doesn't mirror it as if the insurance was a singularity by itself. The only time it becomes an issue is when you start adding the drivers to said policy, if that makes sense. So you can have, like, say my house, because that's why I say business, personal, all go together. Say my house, I got me, as I buy a car and buy a truck and buy a motorcycle, like it's me driving. So it adds a little bit to the insurance based off the vehicle and what I'm adding. But the insurance doesn't skyrocket until or change up real crazy unless you have add a driver that might not have the best background driving record. I guess you say background. When I say that, I mean driving record. They might not have the best driving record, and that could skyrocket the insurance. So that's probably why that individual, I'm assuming, has 1 van with 3, and the other 3 have regular insurance, because it might not be theirs, or the people that's driving it might not have what you said. Like you said, it seems pretty sketchy. That's on them to figure out. Me and you, ain't our job. We just know over here we run clean businesses. Let's see, where did I stop off at? Okay, there we go. It's quick speaking to J Harv. Yeah, J Harv told you we're gonna put APB out on you. You disappear like that again. What's going on? Talking about what's going on, everybody in the room. What's going on, fam? Glad you chopped it up with us. It's dry time, running a lot of loads from the carriers because I can never find something within 100 miles of me, and they do. But I'm going to try to start more brokers that I hit a year this month. Congrats on the year this month. That's one thing. We're going to say congrats, because that first year is turmoil, especially letting that MC made. So congrats on that, fam. But yeah, me and you already talked about the 100-mile thing. So yeah, what you're doing, no problem. The carriers, they most likely got those relationships. Remember, we talked about it. I don't know if you've seen it. The Quicks put out I saw it in a video form and in real form. They put out where they showed Mr. Quick was in the back of the van showing his the business cards. They were showing the I call them the club cards, the promotional cards that we talked about before, but they already had theirs made, but they were showing it in this like Not necessarily right now, because the weather's bad, but on those down times when you're at the house, that's when you got it. Because you said your carriers find those companies within 100 miles of you. That's when it's time for you, when you got a little downtime or that week off where you're chilling at the house, gonna spend more time with the fam. That's when you got to go around your local area and start beating the pavement. You got to start knocking on doors, giving out flyers, giving out business cards, sending out insurance. Because the same way those carrier companies are able to find those loads within 100 miles, but they're not popping up on the low boards, 9 times out of 10, they already got that relationship built. But best believe there are more relationships out there for you to build, but they just don't fall in your lap. You got to go out there and get it, which you already know that. I'm just saying. You got to go out there and get it. What's going on, Pops in the building? Hey. Yes, navigating that low board is an art. It is. It's a trial and error. I learn something new every time I'm looking at it and figuring something out, or new questions. I try to tell y'all as soon as I figure it out, but it's an art, and it's an ever-changing art. It's always changing. Miss Quick, what is the name of the new low board you named on TikTok? I think it's called Freight Link, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm going to go down and see if I can find it right quick. Yep. Freight Link. I've seen a few people on TikTok thank the guy for getting lows. I've seen a few of the lows that he put out there. They're pretty good. Do you go through LogRock to get Geico? No, I just went straight to Geico. I have already done business with Geico for years, like international side with my international driving. They had a better price at the time when I did it. They had a better price than USAA, so I went with them, and that was years ago, 2012. Yeah. And because of that, because when I got to Europe and USA, act like they didn't know your boy no more after all them years of working with them. Like Geico gave me that better rate, and I jumped with Geico, and they've been giving me deals. I tried to step away from Geico like one time, and that was when we came back. When we went to Bali and in South Korea, we left for like 5 or 6 months. And when we came back, I tried to switch like that one time. Let's just say it was Progressive, and Progressive, they took care of us the first 6 months, and then that next 6 months, they gave us that quote and act like they didn't know us. And now we went running back to Geico, and ever since then, it just worked out that the van stuff lined up with the personal stuff. Let's see, here we go. But that broker told me that he'd been in the game for a while, so he knew what he was talking about. I had to explain to FMCA. Explain to him, FMCA told me different. Hey, you know how this game works. Somebody can say anything to make themselves sound good. Just because he, for one, could have been in that game for a while and only worked with certain people. We got some fam in here that we done a one-on-one with, and they were entering the cargo van space. And I was talking to the fam, and we were just going over different numbers. And the daughter had been in dispatching and all that for a while, but she was used to dispatching like the big boys, the 18-wheelers, the box trucks, and all that. So we were breaking down the variances between the cargo van numbers and the box truck numbers and 18-wheeler numbers. But that didn't mean that because she understood it, made sense. She got it. But I'm using her as an example because if she would have been like, hey, I've been in this for a while, you're wrong, and I'm okay, you're right. Because one thing I don't do is I don't go back and forth with people. I don't care who it is. The broker says and believes that, cool, no problem. You have a blessed day. I'm not going back and forth for you. We're not finna pull out who got the smartest stick. Like, no, you win. You automatically gonna win with your boy. I'm not going back and forth with you. You know what like. I will let people explain stuff, teach me stuff, especially if I don't know it. We can go back and forth in a dialogue to bump heads, not bump heads, but like to build to the next level. But when we're conducting business, we're in and out. It's not the time to go back and forth. The broker that you're talking about, regardless of what their intention was, their goal is not to make sure your business succeeds. That's on you. So after back and forth, I'm going to move on to the next person. I can't with you. Cole in the building. On the road leaving Louisville with a couch load. Stay safe out there, man. Heck, Kentucky was. Kentucky's cold and it's ice, fam. Just told it. So you stay safe. I say that, but Cole out there been out there. He was one of the ones making posts out there delivering in the boxes in the snow. Oh man. I'm thinking about taking my first trip to Arizona. It's warm there, and I might make a little change. So I'm just gonna let you know you're gonna probably make a little change, get on out there. And I will pray that you get something real quick coming back. But the stuff that will come all the way back to the East Coast where you're trying to go, it doesn't pop off that often. You might get Texas, you might get Kansas, nearby states that'll keep you going. Just remember that video when you cross those parallel lines over there. The freight over there keeps you over there. It's like, I don't want to say region specific, but think of it this way. If I'm a manufacturer or a customer and I got something that I need on the East Coast, I'm pretty sure it's a supplier on the East Coast that makes it, unless it's a very, very particular item and I want it from the West Coast. Just like the same way at the West Coast. They probably got a manufacturer out there because the cost of shipping services all the way across different state lines, which it does happen. Don't get it wrong. It does happen. But the volume at which it happens, so yeah, you're going to find something going out there. The volume of you coming back immediately, and I only say that because me and you talk, I know what you got going on with the way you're building your business, because y'all don't know, but Mr. Drive Time is a very busy person. Him and his wife are building all types of stuff. Amazing work. And what you and your family are building to get back in those time frames might get iffy, and I don't want you driving too far deadheading back because you got to get to those other obligations. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, Cole. Yep, Cole in the building. Nelson's in the building. What's good, fam? What's good? Is your van listed on your MC 150 page as none CMV? You may need to check that. I didn't even think about that. That's a good question. You need to check, because who was that? Somebody, I forgot who it was, had this happen, and they were out in Georgia. It wasn't listed correctly on there, and they were getting the calls, and the MC got put on hold because DOT was couldn't find them in the system, so they had to be put on hold. Because remember, this is when remember we talked about the FMCSA video when you're building, putting in for your MC, where you're supposed to put all those zeros and stuff like that. If you don't list it right, it can come back. Yep, there we go again. Freight link. They told me $2,200 down and $1,100 per van. For all the vans, $1,100 per van. No, I get the van, and then as you add on, don't get me wrong, it's gonna go up as you add vans, but that doesn't leave the wiggle room for when you add the people to said vans. I don't know that it's like the actual number, because of the going rate right now doesn't sound bad. It's still, because the numbers are crazy. I'm just generalizing because of location. But per van is, whew. I have to, yeah. Let me think about that for a second. And that was through Geico. Yep, that was them putting it up there. Yep, that was through Geico. Got 2023 Ram ProMaster 35 high roof extended. Yep, same van. So yeah, let me let that flow through my brain, because that seemed pretty high, $1,100 per van. Because normally, unless something has happened, normally they used to add a few hundred on every van, and it didn't make a difference until it got to separating by driver. Because obviously they're looking at it on paper, unless you told them something different. But they're looking at it on paper as you're driving more than one van, if you don't put nobody else on it. Stay out of Arizona. He probably coming to see you, J Harv. He coming to see you. Yes, it is. FMCSA told me to put non-CMV anything different would be out of compliance. Even the DOT officer called and had to remove it. Okay, then there you have it. Broker probably just didn't know what he was talking about. Jay Harvin here laughing. I told you Arizona is mine. Told you gotta go check in with Jay Harvin, Arizona. Love those temps. Yep. Talking about the different carrier direct shippers. Let's see. Any Cali peoples in the house? I heard there are some regulations causing some business troubles out here. Really? I hadn't been back to Cali in a while, so I have to check. Oh, I got one more for y'all. Because I'm about. Let me see where. There's the comics. Yeah. I'm gonna stop right there. Let's put this last one up because this is the one that y'all need. We did all that strategic goals and objectives. This is the one y'all actually need. It's the last final one when we break down. See, y'all had your boy Squirrel. Got to open his phone back up. When you break down, we was talking about X, putting X's in everything, like X amount of time, X amount of this. Well, this is when you actually put some numbers to it, and that's we made it specific in for the cargo van, and you'll start noticing. I'll talk about that in a second. But with each strategy, and you'll notice like some of the wording has changed. So remember, it was growth and market positioning. Now it's revenue growth and market penetration. And it sounds crazy the word because word to me, I'm big on words mean something. You're not just trying to you're not just trying to position yourself in the market. You want to like go head in and take over the market, whatever that is. Like how you hear your boy say all the time, talking about I'm gonna take over Texas. There's enough out there for all of us to take over Texas, but words mean something. So it's not like I don't want to position myself in Texas. I want to penetrate the Texas market to where I take over. You come with me. That's kind of how my mind works. So that's why it's worded like that. But then when you see the objectives, you see they start putting numbers to it. Secure 3 to 5 active broker relationship within the first 90 days. Establish 2 to 3 direct shipper contracts within 12 months. Maintain a weekly minimum revenue target of X. Remember how we talk all the time, 1,500 to 2,500 a week, depending on the market, if you're staying local. See what I'm saying? Like, all that makes sense. Operating high demand lanes to minimize deadhead miles. Expand services, offering to include same-day white glove or time-critical freight. This is all the stuff we're doing. We're just building it all together into our goals and objectives. We talked about this with the statements, the capability, the vision, the mission. We talked about all that. It's just now, as you see, we keep adding on and it's building and building. Like I said, by the time it's all said and done, it's going to build out to the whole big picture. Goal 2, profitability and financial control. The objectives for that is maintain your cost per mile below. That's why when I say that, know your number, you want to generally keep that cost per mile at a certain thing, and it only changes when you start adding vehicles to your fleet, which that's later on down the line. Achieve net profit margin of 20 to 30%. Set aside 10 to 15% of revenue for maintenance and repairs. These are all things that we talk about all the time. It's just now you're putting them and piecing them into your different goals. Let's see. I think it's another one. Yeah. The customer value and retention. See, all we're doing now is you're adding numbers to all this different stuff. That's the only key difference that you're adding, like for our operational efficiency and reliability, the broker and shipper relationship development. It's more so. What's the best way I can put this? It's more so the time frame and the steps that you're getting things done. So, for example, under objectives, when I said to achieve the 98% plus on time pickup and delivery rate, that goes back to the metrics that we talked about in the statements. That goes back to the different things we said in our capability statement and all that. This is all that. And you basically, remember I said 3 to 5 things. You're pulling it out and you're piecing it into your goals and objectives. You're just making it an objective, which is your overall goal. This is just the strategic part of it to lay out for mapping out your business. Because I don't want to hold y'all on that stuff. Because let's see, and making sure I didn't miss anything. Because it might be templates, but it's mainly what these are for. It's for you to plug your numbers in and what you're supposed to build your business build your business according to. The main thing I wanted you to take away from this for the end was those KPIs. When we're out here doing this business, one of the things that we all get lost in translation is the KPIs. It's being able to measure what you're doing. Because if you don't have something to measure your performance, that's when your business, you're just running around chasing your tail, chasing miles, chasing loads. The KPIs are what start the word is not coming out of my mouth. The KPIs are what differentiate you between not just competitors, but where you rank in that business. That's why we use the word penetrate versus position. Because when you start understanding your revenue per mile, when you understand your deadhead percentage, that's what we talked about, the getting it below 15%, your gross net and profit for the week, your on-time delivery rate. These are the things that you measure yourself and tell the difference between who you are in this business and where you're headed in that business. But that's the main thing. And again, I put all these are all loaded up into the community, but it's basically starting to see, because I want you to start mapping out, taking what the vision is that you have for your business, the vision statement, the mission statement, the value statements, what you're capable of, the capability statements, and you have to transition those into your goals and objectives. Because in order for the business to grow and you get to the next level of things, you got to start putting systems in place. And you can't put systems in place until you know exactly what your overall goal and objective is. I'll give you a personal life example. Like, I can't say I want to buy a new house because I'm tired of this house, but I don't put systems in place where they'll be saving this much, no eating out. We got to start either buying furniture and keep taking care of your furniture. You have to go through, and you see people do garage sales. We got to declutter our life because we can't take this to the new house that we're buying. All those things are part of business as well. So when you say you want to be the premier leader in the cargo van industry, you have to start taking steps. You can't bring bad habits over to the new in order to achieve the greatness you're looking for. You have to start refining some of the things. You have to put those systems in place. Like, it might not be like your regular car. Most people hop in the car and leave. You're in a business. You're in a van. You got to look at that van, check it over, do pre-trips. Every time you walk out that business, walk out that house to get in the van, you just can't go take off and be done with it, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's the key takeaways, is the understanding those key performance indicators for your business to help you grow. It sounds crazy because I don't want to beat that to head, because that's part of that's in the book. In the book, we even got 30, 60, 90-day things to help you along the way and all that stuff. And again, it's coming. I'll let y'all know when it's through processing. What y'all out here talking about? Y'all know me. Y'all can't be leaving me out of the conversation. Let's see, where did it stop? Okay, there's where we're at. I have a good compliance officer that paid for it. Yeah, we're talking about insurance. Your numbers for Florida. Yeah, I'm good. Florida's kind of like Texas. Them numbers gonna be high regardless. Ain't nothing you can do to get around it. But it's still that per van, the same price per van, 1,100 multiple times per van, unless that includes the driver. I have to look at that, because it sounds right, but at the same time it sounds off. My Progressive is $750 for $1 million insurance. Tell him try Progressive. Geico, no good. See, that's what I'm saying. It's all about your region. So for me, Geico is good. Progressive is horrible in Texas, but I've heard people in Florida that was using Progressive and they switched up. But like you're up in the Carolinas, and it works out great for you. So that's what I'm saying. You got to shop around it. You got to shop around. Jay Har, I'm trying to stay. Yeah, you can go on there. The Jay Har said it too. You can go on out there to stay warm. Y'all crazy. I'm being to love Houston, but man, it was cold there last week. Broke my heart. Hey, you can't go off for the weather in Houston. I'm gonna tell you right now. Houston weather, it does its own thing. When you walk outside in Houston every single day, every day, it don't take no days off. You got to walk outside with an umbrella, a jacket, a t-shirt on under your jacket, some shorts, some rain boots, because you don't know. You can walk out, it's going to be raining, then it'll get hot, then it'll get cold, and right before nighttime it's hot again. Or it might turn around, come outside, it's cold as I don't know what. And then by lunchtime, it feels like you're in the Sahara Desert. It got to come with everything. 79, yeah, that's a great temperature right now. I don't even know what temperature it is right here. What temperature is it where I'm at? Now you got me, we comparing to 79 here too. That's crazy. 79. 79 must be nice. Woke up to 60. Ooh, no, 16 degrees? In my Drake voice. 16 degrees? No. I can't do it. Went to Vegas this morning. It was warm, and back home, and it's warmer, and I love it. But come on, just leave local lanes to me. Jay Hart say, don't come out there for the warmth. He trying to get that money. I see. Just rub it in while we're in 20 degree weather. 16 degrees is the heat wave. I can't. Oh, man. It might be warmer. Yeah, you're right. That gas is cheap out that way. It definitely is. You're right about that. Y'all better stop complaining about this. The cold front that's happening right here. Jay Hart say the gas is good out there year round for y'all compared to him. You have more lows out in the east and in the west. See, Jay Hart gonna make y'all start questioning. Y'all worried about that weather that we going through right now. Jay Hart say the boy might be nice out there, but the gas and the low volume is better over there. So you right, Jay Hart. We ain't complaining. It's all good. I have far fewer days near 100. Yeah, I agree. Once it hits 25 degrees, Mr. Quick will put on his Bermuda shorts and cowboy boots and watch the man. Oh, y'all is crazy. We need that video. Oh, yes, we definitely need that video. Oh, man. You signed Mr. Quick up for something. Oh, I can handle the cold, but I don't like the snow. You better than me. I don't want the cold or the snow. Neither one. Let's see, where we go. Progressive in South Florida gave me a quote much higher than Geico for the same 1 minute. See, it's hit or miss. I think this ain't literally what's happening. It's just me. I think they just be throwing quotes out there. I think they have quotas they got to hit when it's like, oh man, like say for example 100. If we need 100 insurance policies, I think they'd be like, oh my God, we're down to 70. Get the next 30 people some great rates so we can sign them up. Okay, we hit our quota of 100. All right, get the next person or two high rates because we don't really want nobody else. Because the reason I think they do that, this is my personal opinion. This ain't true. I don't know if it's true or not. I just thought about that when all the stuff was going on in Florida with the home insurance was going up and down and shooting through the roof and all that. And I went down a rabbit hole. When you have to pay out so many, I guess you could say settlements, the company takes a hit. So I think they have quotas of we got this many people insured, it's bringing in this much money. We're good right now. And they probably have a buffer window, like a 15, 20% buffer window that we'll go over and we're still good because we're hitting our profit margins. But like 1 or 2 accidents can take you out. We talked about that in the book about yourself personally. Like your cargo van with the wrong insurance could take you out of business. Well, that applies to big business as well. So I think they had a number of safe drivers that are not doing anything and they're paying that monthly payment. But a couple of bad wrecks for a couple of bad drivers can make that insurance company take some hits. So that's just my personal opinion. But that's why I think they just be pulling numbers out the air. BG, we suggest a visual whiteboard to put up in your office to look at your vision and weekly strategies to help you stay on track. I agree with that. It sounds crazy, but my whole house, we got whiteboards everywhere. I got like 3 in my office. My wife got like 2 or 3. Each kid got, well, except boy 3, he don't, but each kid got them in theirs. Boy 2, I know keeps them on his phone. I keep them on my phone. I look at that stuff all the time. I look at my vision stuff daily, a few times a day. We put stickies up on the mirror in the bathroom. Like we got stuff all around our house to keep our goals in check. Like I got a checklist for Thailand that's keeping the goals in check for while I'm here. Like I agree. You need to put that whiteboard up. You need to put stuff places where you can see your vision and keep up with it and track it. I agree with that. 32 in Florida. 32 in Florida. Y'all having a cold front. It's for 32 in Florida. Oh, you need to call some backup. Let's see. And to make matters worse, my wire is for the heater, and my wires for my heater I installed. What happened with you? What? You ain't got no heat? Okay, there you go. And to make matters worse, the diesel heater I had installed in my van to keep me warm while I was asleep. I messed around and let the wires touch metal in my van and burnt the wires. Oh, man. This is the wrong time for that. It's too cold out there for that. Oh, man, it's too cold out for that. Oh, man, that's crazy. That was Jay Hall's story right there. Y'all are crazy. What's going on, Grind TV? What's going on, fam? Man, y'all got me out here rolling today. But nah, fam, that's all I really had, man. It wasn't really much to it. It was separated from last week because I wanted you to hammer on the strategic part. I know y'all gonna probably dive. I'm gonna probably word it a little different or show it a little different next week for the financial part, because I think we get the goals and objectives part, but the financial piece for our goals and objectives, I'm gonna probably word that a little different for next live, so because I know we money. I'm not even feeling like I understand everybody want that money. So I think we're going to hit it a little different than the actual just the PDFs like we've been doing. I think we're going to take a different twist of how we do the numbers, the financial piece. I might even throw in some examples or something like that of different financial pieces to how to hit them goals and objectives. But yeah, I'll tap into that. But for me, yeah, that's all I had, fam, because I know I got to get ready. We got to they still sleep, but I got to get them up and moving because we got to go ahead down. We've been up in Bangkok area. Now we finna go and slide down to the Pattaya area for a few days. You know, beach time. Go put our toes in the sand. I probably shouldn't be telling y'all this after we just talked about the cold weather. My bad. But like Miss Quick said, I'm going to go put on my Bermuda shorts. I just ain't going to be washing no van. Oh, man, but no, we that's just the strategic side, and you know how it is in business when you got to put out the strategies and the operational. That part gonna be the same as we do the beginning part. I know for some it seems pretty dry, but this is that dry stuff that you have to talk about. You have to put in your business plans in order to have a successful business. Everybody wants to do the fun part, drive around, make money, put it in your bank account and watch it. But in order to grow and keep scaling in whatever you want to do, whether it's more vans or whether it's a retirement fund or whatever your exit strategy may be, whatever it looks like, in order to do that, you got to do this tedious part in the beginning, which is put your paperwork in order, y'all. We've been talking about insurance, getting your insurance in compliance, knowing different courier and broker dedicated lanes and direct shipping. Like all that footwork is in the beginning. Once you get it all mapped out, it's good. So this is the part that sucks for business part when you building it out. It ain't the pretty fun part. It's not sexy at all. But yeah, make sure I didn't miss nobody before we get up out of here. Let's see, being so strategic in 2026, fam. Hope everyone is well. I agree with that. Let's see. Come on now. I have to do a better job at that. I'm going to make a decision to be more strategic in the season. Hey, G, when does the freight pick back up again? I can't wait. It's going to probably be towards the end of the month. It normally is around not the beginning of February. It's normally like mid-February, but with this cold weather, a couple things have happened. It's going to pick back up, and it's going to come hitting faster because a lot of people weren't able to ship stuff because of the weather. So be prepared when that cold weather and that ice especially starts melting and all that stuff. And they got to play catch up because a lot of stuff has been sitting in warehouses and sitting in facilities, not being able to go. So it normally picks back up around the middle of February, towards the end of February. Once it gets through those last few holidays and everything, it picks up because, Valentine's Day and Cyber Week, all the different stuff. Once that goes through, it normally picks back up. But when that weather clears up, it's going to definitely pick back up because of all the stuff that's been on back hold. See y'all next week. Over and out. And this, I agree with Sammy. So y'all know what time it is. We're gonna wrap it up right there, fam. So those that's not driving, Cole, I know you driving, so you be safe on that road. But for everybody else, close your eyes and bow them heads. The Heavenly Father, we once again come to say thank you. Thank you, first of all, for the safety that you have provided us all. We understand the weather that has hit the United States real hard over the past couple days. We want to say thank you for letting us be safe in that. Thank you for letting us return home to our families. Thank you for providing us with the shelter and warmth during this cold time. We also want to say thank you in advance for the future safety that you're going to provide us as we continue to get ready to transition into this next season of our life of being strategic about how we run our life and build our business so that we can obtain the success that you have planned for us. We ask that you help us keep in line with our vision on the way to success and guard us from anything that tries to throw us off of the path that you have us on. We just ask you to keep us safe, healthy, mentally, physically, and spiritually, and definitely financially, Jesus. We ask these and many more blessings in your darling son Jesus' name. Amen. And just like that, we done, fam. Y'all go ahead and be safe out there on that road. Y'all, hey, stay warm. Stay warm. As for your boy, got a couple things. I owe y'all a video too. I got one already loaded. It's probably gonna put it out tomorrow or later on today. Things are messed up around here. And then, I'll let y'all know when they finally approve the book, because it's already in the system. It's out my hands. When they finally do that, I'll make sure y'all get it and all that. But yeah, for as your boy, I got to get this family up and wrangle up out of here so we can get on up out of here and down this road. So y'all stay safe, stay warm, and as always, until the next video, y'all stay blessed.